2024, y'all. Happy New Year. Or for some of y'all with the pet peeve, Happy New Year's. I know that S is a source of contention for all you educational Negroes. Anyway, 2024, we did it. We made it. Congratulations. It's an election year. What country y'all want to move to? I was thinking about Ghana, but I heard that they are really taking advantage of the American expats that come there, overcharging us for land, goods, and services because they know we come with that almighty dollar. I heard Mexico is all right, but people trying to leave Mexico. Why am I trying to go back in? And Canada, it's Canada. But anyway, can y'all handle another election year? I'm going to have to be disconnected. I'm going to have to be disconnected and live in the fact and all the rhetoric that I spew, even though I try hard not to believe it, but it's becoming more and more true that the president is selected and not elected. Am I going to not vote? No, I'm still going to vote. Because although I think it means as much as I think it's worth less than the piece of paper that I have to bubble in and stick in the machine, people died for that right. And they didn't know that it wasn't going to mean shit. So I'm not disrespecting it. People died, ruined their whole lives for it. I'm going to do it. I just believe that it don't mean shit. No mas. I'm going to move this up to the sunglasses. I did a whole video yesterday, y'all, and I put the speaker on my earring, and all you heard was the rubbing of the coat. So I deleted it. But anyway, a couple days ago is my husband's birthday. He's 42. I'm going to be 40 in less than 2 weeks. And I have to say that it's been good. It's been great. I had fun. I explored myself and a lot of other people as well. I think I've owned 15 cars. I've raced them, I've fixed them up, I've dragged them, I've had fun, I've gotten drunk, I've been wild, crazy, free, inhibited, did some risky stuff, made it out alive. Thank God camera phones wasn't around. I settled down. I have children. I have one of each. I don't feel a loss of not knowing what it is to have not have a girl or not have a boy. I'm fortunate for that. I've loved. I have been loved. A plus. A plus. Right now, I am in the proverbial rat race of middle classism in America, and that's fine with me. So yeah, I'll be 40. I lost weight. I'm not going to be, not my worry, but what I didn't want to happen is to be uncomfortably overweight at 40. And what I mean by that is I'm still considered overweight, might even be obese. I don't know what's 220 at 5'6", because that's what I am right now. But I used to be 320 at 5'6". And I had no problem getting men's. I had no problem really with health. I had no problem with health being that big. It was just uncomfortable for me. If you know me and I go out, I was always a girl in heels. I like the way it look. I feel sexy. And when you're that heavy, heels hurt. And I'm not uncomfortably big anymore. So I didn't want that when I turned 40 because 20s was fun. 30s, I was finding myself and being a wife and getting my career going. If you could call this a career, it probably is a job. But really working on myself. I got my master's degree in business. All of that I did in my 30s. I became a mother. My kids now could wipe their own ass and feed themselves. 40, I got a partner who's pretty much not on the same journey I'm on at 40. But that's fine. Somebody got to stay home and watch them kids because I'm finna be outside, bitch. I'm finna be outside. Invite me to motherfucking everything. Every cookout, every barbecue, every lounge party. Sorry, my throat is scratchy. I don't know if y'all know. Everybody in New York has been sick or is sick. We got a skeleton crew at my office, which is very rare. But anyway, there's like a scratching in my throat. But I feel fine. So I'm gonna go to work and infect everybody. But anyway, invite me to everything. I'm finna be outside with or without my kitties. Let me know if it's kid friendly. I'll bring them. And please have one of your older children be willing to make $20 per day to watch my kids. I pays in cash. So, but anyway, that's what my 40s are for. I'm back in heels today. I caught a mean, disrespectful sale at Torrid. Torrid is for big girls. It is the young Thundercat version of Lane Bryant. And I got 9 pairs of shoes and a pair of sunglasses. Not these, but a pair of sunglasses. Actually, I have the sunglasses in my bag. 9 pairs of shoes and sunglasses for under $200. And I wear 11. And I'm a wide, but these shoes are double wide, which is good for me because I don't want them squeezing my piggies. But so yeah, I'm wearing heels today. Into the office wearing heels. I got meaties. That's right. If I don't look like Missy Elliott or Queen Bee in these glasses. Oh, there's a sticker on here. You could tell I'm new to being fly. I'm not. I always been that girl. So anywho, I'm gonna I want to start doing things. Like I think I got like 16 of y'all as a friend group. But I think more of y'all, like, friends as in, hey, my friends on this channel. And most of y'all probably family and you already know me. But I want to kind of do like a meet and greet kind of situation because I want to pick more people's brains. I feel like people tend to be more open and talk more when they are in person. I don't know where a lot of you guys are located. I'm in New York, but I need I think I'm eligible to go live. I think I have enough time to go live. Maybe I'll do a live and you guys call in or we meet up somewhere because I really want to pick brains. I do appreciate the people that agree with me and agree with my rhetoric, but I really want to hear from the people who are not oppositional, because that seems to be a hard word, but who differ. Like, I'm a big, fat, black, juicy, feminist atheist. I want to talk to the religious, traditionalist, skinny woman. I want to talk to, my Wario, to my Mario, my who is Superman's retarded alter ego. That one. I want to talk to the total. I'm not calling y'all retarded. You know what I mean. I want to talk to the opposite. Why are you still there? I know why I live here. I want to know why you live there with all the options and stuff. Why do you choose to live there? What is it about it? Do you find comfort in it? I just want to talk to more people who differ. I like y'all. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and this is what kind of sprung this. But she was talking about the differences in the other kids in her class. And she was talking as if she wanted to be a cohesion and assimilation and everybody be the same. And I said, no, baby, differences are amazing. We love differences. Her thing is me and my son, we have brown skin. She has pale skin. She and daddy are pale. And her grandmother, my mother's pale. But me and my son, we got a little melanin to us. And she was talking about that. Because if you ask her what she is, she'll say white. Because she doesn't know white is a race or black is a race. Because if I say black, she goes, no, you're brown. We're not there yet. Kids are visual. She sees colors like crayons in a box. And the kids in her class, when I went to go be a volunteer parent, although many of them look like her, because it is a Hispanic-based school, there are kids that are more brown, but they are of Hispanic culture. And there are a lot of biracials, a lot of mixed Spanish and black kids like herself. But I don't know if she's doesn't know how to treat them or act based on these differences. And I'm telling her, no, differences are amazing. Differences are great. We love differences. And then, I'm trying to teach you the word monolith. Like, Black people are not a monolith. Hispanic people are not a monolith. We love differences. They're awesome. They're amazing. It's what keeps us from being bored. I said, would you like to eat a macaroni cup every single day? And she said, no. I said, that would be boring. You get sick of macaroni cups. You don't want to be around the same people every single day. That would be boring. How did I get knocked off from my GPS? That's weird. I said, you don't want to be, eating the same thing every day, talking to the same people every day. I said, differences are not bad. Differences are great. Differences are what keeps us great. That's why I choose to live in New York. One of the reasons why I choose to stay here. One of the reasons why there's a lot of reasons, but there's a very big reason as to why I chose a school outside of the community that we live in. Because although my community is diverse, the non-blacks are sending their children to private school because they have the means. And our school district is not the best. Although I give them $12,000, is it now 12 or $16,000 a year in taxes, property tax, goes to the school district that my kids don't go to. Um, but I find it to be all black, all from the same social economic status. The students are below the poverty line and stuff because it is definitely a tale of two cities where I live. It's hardly any middle class. Although I consider myself middle class, um, you're either very wealthy and you live there because there are parts of it that are very nice and affluent, but the school district sucks. So you send your kids to private school. And then you have the below the poverty line or public assistants who send their kids to the school districts because that's what they should do. And then you have the middle classers like me who can afford to send their kids to a charter school. And in New York, most of the charter schools are in Brooklyn and the Bronx. So we could afford to send our kids outside of our district, pretty much in another city, because we have vehicles and means and access and the money to do so. You're not really, how are you able to take public transportation? And some of these schools, the earliest they open is 7:30, 7:45. Take the train an hour and a half to buses and trains to take them into the Bronx to go to the nearest charter school, drop them off, and then make your way by public transportation to whatever job you have. And if you start at 8, you're not making it. If you start at 9, you're not making it. You can't afford to cab it every day. You don't have a vehicle, so your option is your school district. So that's where the middle class is. The middle class, we have options because we're rich enough to own vehicles and have jobs and careers because we could get to them in time, drop our kids off because they don't provide transportation when you live outside the district. Although, the all you have to do is be a New York State resident to go to any charter school in New York State. You don't have to live in that city. So if you are in the outskirts, you're in Westchester, you're in Nassau, and you want to bring your kid into a charter school in Queens and Brooklyn, you can apply and do so. You just have to live in New York State. You don't have to live in New York City. Although they will try to push because it's easier to get the money instead of battling your home school district to get the money. But that's another topic for another day, honey. But anyway, the middle class, we're still not sending our kids to my where I live school district because it's not good. It's not good. And I don't want them to be exposed to those type of children. I don't give a fuck how it sounds. There's nothing wrong with the children. It's the parent. Well, there's something wrong with the children, but they're a product of the parents. They're a big part. And no, it's not all, but most. But most. They're a product of their environment. It's not that long ago that during a celebration of the basketball team, the head cheerleader was stabbed to death over some jealousy bullshit. As the mayor was there on the steps of City Hall. That's what happened. Or Um, what else? A child was killed in the projects. A child was killed in the neighboring school district in the McDonald's from violence. I think if you do what is necessary to apply, to do your research, to buy the uniforms, to send your kids to a charter school, you give a fuck and you're a different breed, you're a different type of person. And that is very reminiscent. That is very reminiscent. You give a fuck. You might, and it might not even be rich, you give a fuck. And yes, there are parents who take public transportation and take their kids to my kids' school. And I see them hailing a Lyft to go to work. Yes, you give a fuck. You give a fuck. You're a good person. You're raising good kids. That's what you're doing. Couldn't put on your motherfucking signal, you stupid ass minivan ass bitch. Sorry. So yeah, you give a fuck about your children. You give a fuck about their education. You go to the PTA meetings and whatever. There's more of y'all than there is in my neighboring school district. I want more of y'all, not a fluttering of y'all. Because to say, are there parents that are not like that in my school district? No, of course they are. But it's not y'all. It's not a lot of y'all. Y'all on the good fight alone. I don't want to deal with that. I'm not. And oh my God, I was criticized for talking about this in one of my videos and then saying that the school district is not going to change because people like myself is what makes the change. People like myself is what make the change. We go to the school board meetings. We talk up. We do this. We do that. Yes. And it's not going to change if parents like myself keep pulling their kids out of the school district. And I said to myself, I'm not willing to sacrifice my children for the good fight. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pay my taxes. I'm going to vote for the budgets. If you're not going over the tax levy, you'll always get an approved budget from me. Right? And this was a board member coming house to house talking to all of the households who have children but aren't registered in the school district. Oh yeah, they knocked on your door as a friendly hello as to why you don't send, because you're taking money from the school district by not sending your kids to the school district, which we are. That state money that you get, you got to give to the school. I don't know, it's maybe $20,000 per kid or something like that. So what the hell is that noise? Oh, so yeah, I told her. She was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you. You were on the board. You're on the board. I talked at a school board meeting because of my children being 10 days shy of their birthday, have to be held back a whole entire year for 10 days. And I talked to the school board advocating on early intervention, getting these children into the school system as quick as possible. New York City and a couple of other cities in New York State did a 20-year study. I think New York State did a 20-year study. And this is why there is universal pre-K, 3K and 3K for all, because when they did the study, the children that started at 3 are the most successful. So they have expanded universal pre-K, and then now it's 3K for all. They want these kids in at 3. And not only do they want them in at 3, as long as you're born in that year and you will turn 3 before the end of that year, you go. January 1st to December 31st. So for example, to all the kids in 2018 who were born in 2018 started 3K at the same time. As long as you turn 3 before the end of that year, you are in school. There is no day and month limitation in New York City. My kids in September were 2 years old in a 3K program. And to say that they are not thriving is an understatement. And I attributed that to they were getting learned education ASAP. My kids left 3K knowing how to write their first name, knowing how to write their last name, knowing their birthday, and potty train. So when I advocated all of that at the school board meeting, I talked about it. I had research. I talked for like 40 minutes, uninterrupted. I talked for like 40 minutes. I even talked about the financial hardship that it would afflict other families who have to then pay childcare for another year, which averages for 2 children $19,000 if you don't have any program. How we don't qualify for any program, but that's $19,000 in cash just to go to have childcare where they're not getting any education. Right? So I talked about all of that, and I could see the look on their faces in total agreement. But the board voted to not change and to keep it December 1st, not even December 31st, December 1st is the cutoff date. And to say that children do well when they are older in the grade. That's what I was told. And mind you, this has been on the books since the 70s. And I said, no, they don't. I just showed you studies that they don't. What happens is that's less money you have to use to hire teachers and allocate space for 3K. Because that's less children. They have 3K. That's less children that you have to pay for. Because let's be clear, you get way, 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 way less money to run a 3K program than you do when you get these kids in kindergarten. And I know that because I work in a school district. And that was my rebuttal. And I said, okay. I put it in writing. I got my rejection in writing. And I put it out because if more parents speak up. And then I said, most of your students come from the South Side. I live in the North Side. Most of your students come from the South Side. You can't disagree with that. There's a reason why most of your students come from the South Side and why your graduation rates are abysmal. Because I'm pretty much the only parent that is on the North Side that's come and talked to y'all in 15 years. Because people who move to Mount Vernon with money already know we're not sending our kids here. We already know. They go to private school. They go to charters. Mount Vernon now has 2 charter schools. They're both middle school, but they have to uphold the same date that the school district does. So even if my kid, even when my kids go to middle school, unless they get tested to prove that they could be in that grade, they'll be held back another grade. But I'm not worried about it because I'll sell my husband to old women with no teeth just so we could afford to continue to send our kids to that school. Anyway, this video was all over the place, but I had to talk about it again. I will do another video very soon, probably on my lunch break, talking about Cat Williams. I loved it. All right, bye. Go watch it. Club Shay Shay. Watch it before my next video, and I'll talk about the commentary. Bye.